Where was I? Don't agree with them. Remember this. It's easier to agree than disagree, most of the time. But if you're agreeing with a negative idea, you've got no way of holding a positive idea in the same place, which is giving a negative command, which is going to produce more negative results. If you find yourself agreeing with them, stop it. You don't have to talk to anyone and agree just to be friendly. What you need to do is tell them to be not just positive. You've got to tell them to really get their shit together and sort their life out to do this. I'm telling you, my man, I love you. I'm not bullshitting you. Your belief here is going to hold it all together. It's going to create expectation. But complaining, moaning and agreeing with the other patients, accepting the physical circumstances is not going to do you any good. We change it by affirmation, like I said before. Say this to yourself every day. Your homework, Linda, your homework was to buy a notebook and a pencil. I hope you're listening to me. Linda, darling, you should have bought a notebook and pencil. Why? To write down this vision of you as you want to be. That future event I told you to lock into. Write it out. Write it out in as much detail, as much passion as you can. Do this twice a day. More if you can. When you wake up and when you fall asleep. Now you're going to be on drugs, so this is going to be difficult. If you can't write it, think it. Why do I say write it down? Why would I give you homework? Well, I'm a teacher, it's my job, right? But you write it down because it requires what? It requires focus. It requires focus for you to picture this idea, imagine it, and then get in there and write it down. And as you're writing it down, your brain has to focus because you've got to think to write, and you've got to think of that picture. And as you're writing it down, you cannot hold the negative idea because you're writing this positive thing. It requires focus. It gives more detail to your brain, your mind. It gives your mind more detail. And you do this twice a day. If you fall asleep because of the drugs and you wake up after the drugs and you're sick, I understand that. But come back and understand this is your medicine. This is your medicine. Twice a day. Twice a day. 3, 4 times if you can. And every time you do it, what you're doing is you're adding another positive command to your mind, your subconscious mind. And this is a problem solver. As soon as you have created enough brain cells charged, or enough cells charged, don't have to be brain cells, but cells of your body charged with this positive, expectant attitude of this image happening, the vibration changes for good. So you've got to do it. Write this vision out clearly. Every time you do it, more brain cells, more cells will be affected by the image. They'll become more positive. It will become clearer, which means you'll have to write more detail. The more detail you write, include all those sights and smells and sounds. Include Linda farting, if that's what the image is all about. Include people laughing. Include the plonk as the float hits the water if it's about fishing. Include the sound and smell of the beer if it's in the pub. Whatever that image is, it's your image of what you want to do. But you've got to make it positive and make it in as much detail as you can and just repeat, repeat, repeat. There's a guy called Dr. Maxwell Maltz. And he wrote a book back in the 1960s called Psycho-Cybernetics. It's an interesting read. It's still available, it's still in print, but you're probably going to have to order it. You won't find it in a bookshop because it's specialist reading. Psycho-Cybernetics, basically the idea is that, let me explain who he was. Dr. Maxwell Maltz was a plastic surgeon, and he performed operations on people that were misfigured. Maybe they had a big nose, maybe they had a scar on their face, maybe their boobs were too small or whatever. But he performed these operations, and he'd take an ugly woman and he'd make her face beautiful. Beautiful like men would think beautiful, women would think she's good looking. Beautiful, gorgeous people. And most of them would be happy with it. Some would look in the mirror and say, no, I'm still ugly. Right? And this is not uncommon. People that have plastic surgery often have more and more and more of it, especially in Korea. It's a terrible place. Why? Because although physically, in the mirror, everybody else sees that beautiful person, they see the ugly person. Because it's self-image. It's the picture that is in the brain that's controlling them. We know this, anorexic people, they will starve themselves to death because when they see themselves in the mirror, they see themselves as too fat, even though they're just skin and bone, a bag of bones really. But they will starve themselves because they see themselves as fat. It's the image that's in their head that's controlling them. Your image, this vision of you, is all about taking power, building a bigger self-image, a better self-image, a self-image of you kicking the shit out of this thing, or rather of you having kicked the shit out of this thing. Because remember, when you're writing it down, it's in the present tense, always. It is now. Not in the future, not I will, I want, I wish, I hope. It's I have, I am. Present tense, my man. Do this. This is your best way out. Auntie Linda, I hope you brought the notebook and the pencil, and you remember what I told you about lemons and water. Right, big man. I'm going to let you sleep now. You must be tired. There's another 40 minutes of gym time. I know you've beaten this already. In my head, it doesn't even exist. I've got a picture of you and me in a pub somewhere after having gone fishing. I've got a picture of you in my head of having a walk around with me when everyone else has passed out after Christmas dinner. I have a picture of you in my head having a bloody good laugh somewhere over something. I've got a picture of you in my head cooking breakfast after a night on the piss. I've got a picture of you and me in Greece drinking a couple of beers and eating a stafada. So all my images in my head are positive. I'm not letting anything else in. And Scott, Sarah, Linda, everybody else needs to do the same. Because there's unity. The more people do this together, it creates a very strong force. They've studied meditation. They've had groups of people meditating at a certain time, and they had a group of people meditating, and I think it was like 100 people meditating, something like that. And when the meditation started, what they did is they recorded and analysed emergency service calls. And when that group meditation of 100 or so people happened, the emergency service calls, the actual amount dropped at the time that meditation was happening. Now all meditation is getting in touch with the subconscious mind, which is all this is. Right? So all you've got to do is understand. Linda, Scott, Tom, Sarah, Jess, anyone else that watches this, do the same thing. It's all positive. None of this negative shit. Don't hope, believe. And when belief gets strong enough, you'll expect it. As the belief is built, the disease will get gone. And I say disease, although it is a condition. Disease is dis-ease, right? Hyphenate the word. Think about it. It's a body that's not at ease, is dis-ease, right? In other words, it's not relaxed. It's not charged properly. There's something wrong going on. Cancer is a condition. What's a condition? A condition is something caused by other things. Think about it. If you've got a shirt that's knackered and old, that's the condition of the shirt. But that's the effect. It's the cause of wearing it too much, it's the cause of not taking care of it, it's the cause of it being old or whatever. The cancer is a condition. It's a disease as well because your body's not at ease. It will be as you start doing this. It's a condition and it's caused by effects. It's a condition, it's an effect that's got causes. Change the causes and the effect has to change. The condition has to change. Change this and everything else will change. I love you, my man. Get better. I'll send you more stuff and I'll call you when I can. And everyone loves you. You can do this. You're Big Dave. You're healthy, happy, fit and strong. I love you, mate. Take care.